Frappuccino with avocado on top? Sure, ma'am. You can bring your avocado and do whatever weird things you want once we hand you your drink. Ma'am. Welcome to the Snack Show with Jami Fallon.
We're just a couple gals snacking our way through life and talking about it.
Sipping and laughing and snacking and chatting.
Majors!
Food tastes better with funny friends.
I just laid the snack down is what I'm saying.
Ooh. This is your first time in a podcast studio?
Jami, why in the HE double pretzel sticks did we start a podcast?
That's a great question that I don't remember the answer to. Good day to you, Fallon.
Oh, I thought we were talking to our husbands.
That's like when one person goes in for a high five and one person goes in for a hand
fist pump.
We are not in sync,
but we are family. It sounds like we've had our coffee today.
Or not, based on our not being together forever.
That's true.
We are a little more Freaky Friday than we are Parent Trap right now.
That's true. But it's very appropriate because today, y'all, it has been requested by multiple listeners. And we are answering the call and saying, yes, we will follow. Today we are talking about
coffee snacks. We also can't even be in sync about the tone of our voices.
We're our own people.
We need more coffee in our lives, everyone.
We
need
twins.
More coffee.
We do. Coffee, please. And listeners, just so you know, you thought that Jamie Crockett was just the best podcast host you've ever heard. Little did you know, she also used to be a coveted Starbucks barista.
For about a year and a half, your girl wore that green apron.
I was going to say, did you get to keep the green apron?
I do. I have it. I put it in my costume box. So if you ever want to be a Starbucks barista for any sort of a costume party, you let a girl know.
Do you still have your Jamie tag?
Yes.
Name tag?
I also have my name tags when I worked at a restaurant in downtown Nashville in college. So I have lots of name tags that you could.
Because you worked at Starbucks once, do you still have a discount or did that end when you stopped your employment?
Yeah, it's tagged to your employee number. And so when you stop your employment, it's like your college email. Once you graduate,
bye-bye.
They get rid of it.
Mm-hmm. Same for when I worked at J. Crew. I don't get that discount anymore for that 60% off.
I know. I have a friend who worked at Gap like one day a month forever because she was just trying to keep that discount.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. Oh, Gap. Remember when?
Although I think I still wear Gap jeans sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't remember the last time I've been into a Gap.
I use the internet version of the Gap.
Sure.
I don't usually go into the old brick and mortar, but we are getting off topic here.
Okay, back to me.
So I was a barista.
Yes.
I remember when I was training, I was very overwhelmed by all of the things I needed to remember and how to make drinks. And so I remember dreaming about coffee in the first few weeks. I would have dreams about orders because I just could tell my psyche was so stressed out about trying to remember everything.
Did they give you a Starbucks manual that said, this is a caramel ribbon Frappuccino and this is what goes in it?
I don't remember that. That might be true. It's also been almost 15 years since I have worked at Starbucks. So it's been a minute.
Okay.
Maybe 14. But I don't remember that. I just remember being told what was in things. And then pumps in a grande and how many, and pumps in a venti, and then, different.
Does everyone learn how to work the actual coffee machine, or is that a different level of employment?
No, everyone does because it's kind of a push button thing to make espresso shots. So it's not that's not the hard part to learn. It's the recipes that'll really get you.
I would think there was a cheat sheet back there or something.
No, not that I remember.
I guess it's all about efficiency. You don't got time to be flipping through a book.
Yeah. And so you learn everything. The register, the ordering. Honestly, as a perfectionist, my least favorite part of the job was having to call out people's names for orders. I'd be like, Sarah. Because I just wasn't sure.
Sarah.
Well, that was the easy one. But the name would be spelled weird and I'm like, I don't know how to say this.
Okay. Were you one of those that would write people's names weird?
No.
Starbucks is known for that. You're like, my name's Katie, and it's like X.
No, because my name is spelled just weird enough that no one ever knows how to pronounce it. So I try to be as efficient and precise as possible because clarity is kindness, and Jamie is never spelled correctly.
So did you ask them to spell their name?
Yes, usually.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay.
Well, and now that's not even a problem because Starbucks now just has those little sticker printouts that get put on drinks if they order online or whatever. So so if I order on the app and go into a Starbucks, my name's always spelled right.
So there was when you were there was no app?
Oh, no.
Oh, whoa.
So it is all just handwritten
Okay.
on a pen.
Was it a
And
big
then you also had to learn what the acronyms of everything written. And when someone would order, so like the way that the boxes are on the Starbucks of like
Yes.
decaf or
Yes.
different kinds of how many espresso shots.
Yeah.
People say it out of order. And so you had to remember what boxes were where because it was sort of this like little
right.
dance of how to write it all down correctly on their cup.
Gotcha. Can you tell us what was the best part of your job?
I loved when the people I worked with, my friends, I'll call them my friends, when we would make up drinks or we'd heard of a made up drink. And like, I worked a lot of nights. When I worked at Starbucks, it was a second job.
Okay.
Your girl needed to pay her car off.
Sure.
So she took a second job while she did that.
How responsible.
I know. So I worked a lot of evenings and
Okay.
then weekends. And so in the evenings, you'd also often have a lot of downtime.
Okay.
I distinctly remember, I think it was toffee nut syrup with some kind of strawberry frappuccino, but not a coffee one, that tasted like Captain Crunch.
Ooh.
But like making those kind of things, I thought was really fun. I also loved that when you worked nights, if the snacks were about to expire, you take those bad boys home because they're going to just get thrown away anyway.
Wow.
So there was a lot of pastries in my life during that season of life.
Oh, here's a question. You know the fake pastries that they put out for display?
We never did that. Ours were the real
really?
ones. I'm telling you, this is a long time ago.
Okay, things have changed.
I know, things have changed. I also, prior to working at Starbucks, I had worked at a bank as a teller.
Okay.
And I loved working drive up. I just like loved the speed and whatever. And so I loved being on the headset and taking orders in the drive-through. That's what I loved at Starbucks, which has nothing to do with making the coffee, but I loved it.
Okay, here's a question. When a person comes to you and orders, I would like a venti double cap, extra milk, no foam, double cheese tenders. Would you be like, oh my gosh, roll your eyes, ugh, so dramatic? Or would you be like, oh wow, they know a lot about their coffee?
I think it would depend on the posture the person made when ordering. Like there was one lady who used to come in and would order a cappuccino, which the quote unquote drier the cappuccino is, the less like milk and more foam.
Got it.
But she would order a dry cappuccino and she always came through at night, so it wasn't a big deal because it was slower. But we would always have to make the drink at least 3 times because she'd grab the cup and she'd be like, feels too heavy, try again. And so we'd have to remake it drier and drier. And so it just really, if someone had a lot of things on their drink, but like was kind about it, it wasn't a big deal.
Okay.
It was or people had weird, gross, like I want 8 pumps of white chocolate sauce and like things that were just disgusting to actually make.
Sure.
Can't handle. Can't
do it. Okay, what was your favorite drink?
Okay, this is wild, guys. Do you know what Affogato is, Fallon?
No.
Never heard of her?
But in your words, bless you.
I've trained you well. Okay, so Affogato is, I don't know what the word means. It's Italian.
It reminds me of ashwagandha.
As we learned from our pasta episode, I don't know any Italian.
Yeah. Well, me neither. I learned from my friends in Italy.
So it's usually coffee poured over ice cream. But at Starbucks, you would order the vanilla bean Frappuccino, which doesn't have any coffee in it. It's just basically a vanilla milkshake.
Okay.
But you'd order it Affogato. So it would be a vanilla bean Frappuccino. You'd put the caramel sauce on top, and then you would pour the coffee shot over all of that so that it was sort of just seep down into the drink over time. And it was chef's kiss delicious.
So can you say affogato to other drinks? Like that's the style of like coffee
so it's
over
usually coffee
mixture?
poured over. So like you could go get a milkshake affogato and that would be coffee poured over it.
Okay.
I'm going to look up what affogato actually means.
I love that. I'm going to try it. I'm going to go to Starbucks and I'm going to say, give me a...
Order vanilla bean Frappuccino affogato.
Well, I was going to try to think of another
what
one
else?
that might be...
What else would be good with it? Yeah, affogato is typically a coffee-based Italian dessert. And so it's usually a scoop of vanilla gelato with ice cream over the top of it.
So it's the Italian version of a float.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
But just with coffee.
Affogato.
So and I think a different friend that works at Starbucks had taught me that, but that was my favorite. And so with the caramel sauce on top of the vanilla bean Frappuccino, it kind of created a barrier. So it didn't just all pour in and seep, like it sort of seeped over time. But the coffee mixed with the vanilla and then a little bit of caramel.
Okay, listeners, vanilla bean affogato. That is what
vanilla bean Frappuccino affogato.
Oh, vanilla bean Frappuccino.
I would wonder how. I knew some people at Starbucks were like, I don't know what that means. So it was sort of like the secret menu.
Sure.
Like our
Could
Captain
you get
Crunch.
It hot though?
No, because it's a dessert. Usually it's poured over ice. It's normally just poured over ice cream. We could go buy vanilla ice cream and make our own affogato at the house.
Done. Sounds like a date.
So I loved that.
Do you have any more I was going to ask you off the menu items, but you already shared one with us.
Yeah, those are the only two that are coming to mind. Was the Captain Crunch one, which I think was toffee nut, and I think there was like a strawberry something Frappuccino at the time.
The only quote unquote off the menu item, which happens to be my favorite, is called the medicine ball.
Oh, yeah.
I say quote unquote because if you say honey citrus tea, I think that is on the menu and it's the same thing.
Yes.
But if you want to sound cool and like you're in the know, say a medicine ball. Y'all, the best tea I've ever had in my life.
It is very good.
So good.
So good.
Okay. Give me one good customer story. Whether it's like dramatic.
Okay, well, this isn't a customer story, but this is a great Jami with the customer stories.
Yeah.
So because I might have told this story on the pod before. Because I worked in the evenings, we were pretty slow and I would be a little bit bored. And so to spice things up, if I was working drive up with my headset, I would decide what accent I was going to do my whole shift in. Have I told you this before?
No.
Okay. The only two accents I feel I can commit to and stick with are Valley Girl.
Okay.
And then a Wisconsin Midwest sort of accent.
Sure.
Because my cousins grew up in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. And so, but like if I did Valley Girl, and we always had to have two people on the headsets. And so it was like usually like me, a manager, and then like one third person working. And I remember one of our managers, he came out and he's like, I'm going to kill you if you do not stop because I'm tired of hearing this. So like someone would come out to the drive and be like, hey, can I order a cappuccino? And I'd be like, shut up. That is my favorite drink. Oh my God, pull around and I'll totally have your total out the window. And like you could tell people were not sure if that was really me.
Sure.
Like, is she joking? Is she serious? Sure. And I worked out in like a suburb. So it was a lot of like moms and families and just like old people.
Sure.
And so anyways.
Can I hear your Barb and Star accent?
Well, you mean the Wisconsin?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Beverly, and I'm from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and you are just a little whippersnapper. Shoot and darn. So, anyways, it was hard to do drink names in that Wisconsin accent. It was a little tough, and I'd start to laugh and come out of it. But anyways, if you drove through a Starbucks in the years like 2008, and there was a girl with a really bad Valley Girl accent, and you weren't sure if she was serious or not, that was me.
Were you here in Nashville or were you back in California?
I was here. I was down in Franklin, Tennessee.
Ooh, fancy girl.
It was the only Starbucks that was hiring at the time. So, you just got to do what you got to do.
I think I had a date at that Starbucks once.
Oh, anyways. Not the Cool Springs one. Franklin.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking Cool Springs. Thanks for knowing me.
Yeah.
Okay, love it.
So anyways, that's my coffee. We are several minutes into this pod, and we've not actually talked about much coffee. Just about my...
No, we talked about a lot of coffee.
Well, sure.
Yeah, and a snack.
Okay.
Okay, I get so confused.
Okay.
Cappuccino, macchiato, Americano, blacchiato.
Bless you.
I made up that last one. It's essentially just how much milk, right?
And sometimes how the beans are processed, for lack of a better word.
Okay.
So an espresso shot and a cold brew. So the cold brew, the coffee is brewed, and an espresso, it is pulled differently. And so that affects the, this is all very low knowledge. So I'm acting like I'm an expert, and we probably should have had a guest on.
Yeah.
And several of my friends that really love coffee are probably screaming at me if they listen to the pod.
Yeah.
They may have unsubscribed at this point. But how the espresso, like how the beans are pulled through the water, how that process is what changes. But a lot of that stuff, like Americano and latte and cappuccino, a lot of that is just how it's either mixed with water or milk.
Right. My go-to coffee is a Decaf Americano with oat milk because a lot of places don't do decaf coffee or decaf drip, so I have to do the Americano, which I'm fine with.
Yeah. Do you want to know a fun fact about me and coffee?
What? Tell me more.
Is that I don't drink hot coffee.
I knew that about you. You do not like to be hot.
Coffee makes me sweaty. So unless it is like 8 degrees outside, I have to have iced coffee. Additionally, I'm just a
Let me tell you.
little vain about my teeth.
Let me tell
the
you.
straw life
The
gets
straw
me.
life. I was just going to say, Jamie always drinks her coffee out of a straw because she doesn't want that stainage, which I respect.
Yeah. So I only drink iced bevies,
Fair.
which does
fair.
limit my menu options in coffee.
So that's probably a lot of just cold brews and maybe some
well, you
frappies.
can do an iced Americano.
Oh, yeah, I guess you could.
Yeah.
Oat milk, though, I tried that recently. It didn't mix well.
With cold?
Yeah.
Oh, I like it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just didn't.
I love a good iced latte with oat milk.
I feel like with my iced drinks, I tend to do whole milk versus oat. Oat goes well with heat, in my opinion, and then I like the more thick, creamy for my iced. But
Well, let's find you some good, thick, creamy oat milk to try with your iced
will.
beverages.
well, I'm running to S-Bucks as fast as I can for this vanilla bean frap avocado.
Avocado. Affogato.
Affogato. Wow.
Can I have the vanilla bean frappuccino with avocado on top? Sure, ma'am. You can bring your avocado and do whatever weird things you want once we hand you your drink. Ma'am.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's quick pivot to actual coffee snacks. Now, this could be either snacks that are made from coffee or snacks that pair well with coffee.
Okay. Done. Top.
Yep.
Chocolate covered espresso beans.
Done.
Are you love them?
Love 'em so
I
much.
do not love them, and I
Really?
love coffee.
I wouldn't ever go to the store and be like, "Ooh, I got to get myself some."
I don't know. There's just something biting
chocolate
into
covered-
that bean that's just like weird,
I like it
and
though.
the
When I
textures.
try it, I like it.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
mofo you, as we
That's
say
the
here on
number
the pod.
one. Coffee ice cream.
Oh my gosh.
So
Coffee Heath Toffee Crunch from Ben and Jerry's. I think I talked about this in the ice cream episode. It is hard to find, and it is a dream. If anyone knows where this is carried, where I can go buy it in bulk and keep it in my freezer, it is just big pieces of Heath bar and coffee ice cream. Oh, I love it so much.
Oh, sounds so good.
So good.
You know RX bars.
Heard of her?
Yeah, she's the one that's like, I only have egg and date and the really healthy
like
ones.
four or five ingredients.
Yeah.
They have coffee ones?
They have a coffee chocolate RX bar.
What?
So good.
Need to try.
Yes, need to try and must. Okay, my besides the espresso beans, this might actually be my number one coffee-related snack.
Okay.
Come with me back to high school. This is probably the last time I had it. But I looked it up and they still have it, so I think we should go.
Okay.
Dairy Queen Moolattes.
Oh.
Remember the Mocha Moolattes?
Yes. Also, Baskin Robbins had a cappuccino blast.
Okay, similar.
And a friend worked at Baskin Robbins and was like, don't get it made with like whatever vanilla or chocolate ice cream. Get it made with cookies and cream ice cream. And it had a little bit of, I mean, I think the coffee content was pretty low, but ooh, that cappuccino blast was a dream.
Okay, let's go back to the Moolatte for a minute so I can pitch it to you.
Okay.
The reason it's like a Frappuccino, so, you know, you can have Frappuccino multiple places, but at Dairy Queen, they, like, the little chunks of ice are still around, which I love, because it's almost like ice flavored,
it's like
coffee flavored ice.
Yeah, it's like
still real chunky.
A slushy almost.
Yes, it's like a slushy. Oh, I am dreaming about it right now. It's taking me back to the beach. I used to get one with my friends after high school. Love it so much.
I'm glad that we both had coffee snacks as our high school sort of memes.
I know. I didn't actually really get into coffee per se until college. And my friend Sarah Bunnell will attest to this. I said to her, because we went to college together and we both went to high school together as well, I said, I'm not going to be one of the coffee drinkers. Everyone goes off to college and was like, now I'm an adult, I'm going to drink coffee. And I was like, I'm not going to drink coffee like that. I'm going to be my own person. That was about a month in, and her and I, after eating at the cafeteria, would always say, okay, it's time for a hot beverage, and go get our hot coffees.
Was it good coffee or was it pretty gross?
Even now, I couldn't tell you what's good or bad.
Oh, okay.
I taste it, and if it tastes like coffee and feels okay, then I'm good with it.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I mean, for the coffee, I'm using air quotes, snobs, as they call themselves. I am not like a bold coffee fan. I love a good, like a blonde roast. Well, I am a blonde, so maybe that's why. But I love a lighter coffee. And so some of that darker, like at Starbucks, it was Sumatra, like the real bold flavors is just not my jam. But I have a lot of friends who really love coffee. There's actually a group of musicians in Nashville that have a shared Google Doc of all of the coffee shops. So like if they're in any city as they're touring, they know where to go where the good coffee is.
Fun.
And so like it'd be like, hey, you share the doc and you'd be like, oh, I'm going to Chicago. And then it would tell you all the places. And so there are so many good coffee shops that like I've visited all over the country. And
see, they base that on flavor. I base that on ambiance.
Well, I think there's a little bit of both.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, one last coffee flavored snack.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of it. It's by Tom and Jenny's, not to be confused with Tom and Jerry's.
Okay.
This is Tom and Jenny's. They make a coffee flavored caramel.
Ooh, is it like a hard caramel or a chewy?
I think it's like little chewy, like squares.
Ooh.
Doesn't that sound
Also,
so good?
I don't know if this exists anymore. Nips. Do you remember Nips? Nips were like a hard candy, kind of like a Werther's Original.
Sure.
But they had coffee flavored ones.
Oh.
And in high school, I used to love
Nips. Yep. Okay. Can we move on to snacks that pair well with coffee? Because I think this is really important.
Yes.
My number one,
Great.
the Stroopwafel.
Ooh, you've talked about that before.
Yes.
Dipping it and putting it on coffee and letting the
Yes,
caramel
not
melt.
dip.
And then
I'm not
you
the
don't
dipper.
dip it after it.
I
thought you laid it on top and then dipped it.
don't ever dip it. I just lay it on top. So you have your little coffee cup. You lay the Stroopwafel on top. Make sure it's
like a lid,
big enough.
kind of. Yep.
That's like a lid. It doesn't fall into your coffee. And you probably let it steep for like 5 minutes, and it just moistens up that caramel. And you take it off, and you take a bite, and it's so chewy and delicious. And then you take a sip of your coffee. It pairs well with the flavoring. It's amazing.
Well, as someone who doesn't drink hot coffee, that's out of my experience
I know.
repertoire.
Actually, it would probably be horrible your way because it would make the Stroopwafel so hard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Speaking of random side note, I tried a new Blizzard at Dairy Queen, but it had gummy worms. It was sort of
no.
and the gummy worms got hard because they
So
were in the ice cream
hard.
and they were very tough to eat.
Yeah,
It was
no.
not a great experience.
Not a great experience. Okay, what about you? Any sort of pairing with coffee that you would pick?
Well, it's sort of like I end up wanting a breakfast sandwich, but I think that's like Pavlov's dog in my
Sure.
brain. Like, oh, we're having coffee. What are we eating for breakfast?
Sure.
A burrito?
Yep.
A Sammy? What are we doing? A bagel?
That's fair.
But coffee flavored snacks should go with coffee. Coffee cake.
Yes, classic.
It is a classic.
Entenmann's has my favorite coffee cake. It has like the crumbly on
yeah,
top
I
and
think
then
that
has
might
some
be the only
ribbons.
coffee cake I've ever eaten.
Really? Well, it's the
Yeah.
best one, so you're not missing out.
Okay, great. Well, I just hit the pinnacle early.
Speaking of, let's go back. Starbucks' favorite treat.
Ooh.
Give it to me.
If I'm getting the sandwich, I like the egg white feta spinach wrap.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
Love that. But I also really love their blueberry muffins.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
The cake pop.
Okay, great.
Which I have
I'm
a
not
question.
a scone eater, so none of the scones really speak to me.
Uh-huh.
I do also, pumpkin bread in the fall.
Ooh, I can't do that. But
Why can't you do that? Is that a pumpkin thing?
I just don't like it, flavor-wise.
Do you like anything pumpkin flavored?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
I do.
great.
Which we should talk about pumpkin flavored things when it gets
We
to Halloween.
should.
That's a great idea. I also like, this sounds so silly, but just toasted everything bagel with cream cheese.
Okay.
Easy peasy.
Love that.
Okay. Another pairing that
Okay.
I would suggest. This is my favorite. Chocolate croissant.
Ooh, I don't love croissants.
What? Have you had a chocolate one?
Yeah, I don't love croissants.
Is it because they're so crumbly and they get on
I
you?
guess. I don't know. Just
They're so flaky and soft? You don't like that?
If I'm gonna eat a carb, it's just not my carb of choice.
Whoa. This
Tough-
is throwing me out
tough
into the
to
universe.
hear, tough to hear.
Tough to hear.
Mofo you.
Obviously, if you're studying abroad, they have amazing chocolate croissants in Paris. Italy had amazing ones, and I would always pair it with cappuccinos. Oh, just so good. Yum, yum, yum. Actually, Starbucks might have a chocolate croissant. I would think they would. No?
I don't know.
I haven't been in so long.
One of my, I know Starbucks is a chain. One of my other favorite chains of coffee is Dutch Bros. Ever heard of it?
You've told me about it, and we were supposed to take a field trip. We haven't gone.
Well, we need to. It has an extensive menu of drinks, and they have a lot of them that are iced. And so I really love Dutch Bros, but they don't have any
Okay.
snacks there. I was just thinking, where do I go get, because I don't go to Starbucks all that often. So that's why since I've worked there, I was thinking, where do I get coffee?
I just want to say another shout out, which sounds so silly. A Dunkaccino. I am a fan of a Dunkaccino.
I didn't grow up with Dunkin' Donuts nearby.
Okay.
And so it's really only been my Nashville life.
It essentially
don't-
is coffee and hot chocolate put together.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
It's so good.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the exact recipe, but that's exactly what it tastes like.
That's what it tastes like.
And pair it with a chocolate covered.
I've only had
donut?
Dunkin's ice cream, or not ice cream. I've only had Dunkin's coffee 3-4 times in my
Okay.
life.
Yeah, if I get coffee there, it's always a Dunkaccino.
There was a hot minute where I was doing the French vanilla McDonald's coffee, but it is too sweet. That was a choice in my 20s.
Yeah, when we were young and naive.
Yeah,
I get it.
that's not my sugar content that I can handle at 8 a.m. anymore.
Well, if you're just waking up, hopefully we woke you up on this coffee talk.
Yeah,
And now you
I
have
mean,
some options.
if you're listening to this and you actually really love coffee, you are disgusted by what we've talked about because we've kept
I
it.
think they've received us as we are.
Yeah.
They accept us.
And I love okay, here's what we need to do on
Yeah.
socials. Let's do a poll
'Kay.
and ask people their favorite local coffee shops because that's what I
Ooh,
love.
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So give
love
us some ideas while we're traveling. Maybe add to that spreadsheet I don't even know where that spreadsheet originated, but
We'll hunt it down.
I will hunt it down.
And then maybe we can make like a fun PDF of everyone's like submissions. And so when people are traveling, they have a whole list.
They do.
Oh, I love this idea so much. Okay, Jimmy Crockett, before we head out, I have a very important question I've been thinking about all day long.
Okay.
I'm wondering, what's your snack of the week?
Ooh, okay.
Snack of the week, a snack. Which, by the way, the last episode, you are right on the money with the snack.
Well, I work in music sometimes.
It was fascinating how quick you were. I was proud of you.
Thank you. Okay, I recently on the Snack Tank episode, popcorn was pitched to us, and our friends at Al's Delicious Popcorn sent us popcorn. So I've had popcorn in my heart and my brain and my stomach. I made popcorn last night with the ranch seasoning from Trader Joe's,
Ooh, I haven't tried that yet.
and it was delicioso. I ate the whole bag of popcorn. That was my dinner after my workout.
Sure.
Do I realize that's not a probably balanced meal? Yes. Do I care?
It's fine.
No.
Yeah, it's totally fine.
And I watched a show. I hadn't watched TV in a few days. I've been traveling. I just sat on my couch,
it
ate
sounds
ranch
lovely.
popcorn, and watched a show. And it was the blessing of all blessings to my evening.
Gosh, it's so lovely.
So anyways-
what movie did you watch?
Oh, I was just catching up on like TV shows that I
Oh,
watched
okay,
and
okay.
episodes I hadn't seen.
Well, welcome home. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
You want to know my snack of the week?
I would love to know your snack of the week.
So, have you flown Southwest recently?
I have.
They have a delicious snack mix in a yellow bag, and that is my snack of the week.
Wow.
It is so good.
Do you want to know a very hot take?
What?
It was offered to me twice.
And you said no?
And I said, no, thank you.
How dare you?
I
They
wish
tried
I
to also gift
wish
me
I-
that stupid brownie brittle cracker thing.
love the
And
brownie.
and I threw those out.
Oh
and I
my
said,
gosh.
No.
Why don't we fly more together? We could trade
Should.
these. 'Cause
Also, why aren't we saving these snacks for one another?
I guess. I don't know.
Well, now we know. So anytime they ask you, say yes, and you just put them right in your bag, okay?
Okay, and I'll bring
I
it
will do the same for you.
I love that brownie brittle.
What about the snack mix? Don't you love it? It's so salty and cheesy and so good. You got some pretzel. You got a little Cheez-It in there. You got, what else? A little, it's like a little hard bread, little
I
cracker.
don't love like hard little pretzels. Like I have to be starving. Like it has to be like 0 dark
That
30 level of
desperate?
hungry for me to want to eat those. I love a soft pretzel.
Is it a texture thing?
I don't
or-
know. It's just like not, I don't know. I love a hard pretzel dipped in something like Flips. Where they've got chocolate on the
Flips?
outside. But I don't know. It's just not
Okay.
it's not my snack of choice.
Well, now we know how we can treat one another when we're flying.
We can.
I will save all that stupid brownie brittle for you.
And I will just keep asking for more snack mix like I'm starving and I'll bring it all to you.
Thank you so
I'll
much.
pack a separate bag just to put all of your snack mix in.
Thank you. I'm so excited. All right, Jamie, let's go fill up on some coffee. We need it.
Okay, let's get some caffeine in our lives.
All right. I will see you next week, Jamie.
And I will eat more snacks before then.